Hello and welcome back to the Vital Premier League podcast, your Premier League podcast from the writers of the Vital Network. I am Ash, I write for Newcastle. We've got Crippy, who writes for Man City, Liam, who writes for Everton, and Andy, who writes for Leeds. How are we doing, lads?
Good, cheers, Ash.
Okay, yeah.
Good, mate, you?
I'm hanging on. I mean, the team's in third place in the league, so I can't really complain. And we won at the weekend, so...
Didn't take long to get that.
I was going to go the entire hour without saying it.
3 seconds into it, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get stuck into quite a bit today because obviously we've got no score predictions to do at the end because there's no Premier League anymore, which sucks. But I'm sure we'll get into some World Cup type stuff at some point. But we've got plenty talking points, but we'll kick off, as always, with the look back at our really poor predictions from the weekend. Jesus, lads, what was going on?
Not the best.
Not the best at all. There were a couple of people who got some correct scores, mind. Paddy managed to get one, who, you know, he shouldn't have been able to get anything.
I think I had one.
Andy, you got the same one, right? The Wolves Arsenal.
Yeah, 2-0, yeah.
And I got... Oh no, Crippy got Fulham Man United. I didn't get any.
That's it, yeah.
That was last week. Still trying to live off last week's glory. So the points total was just a measly 4 points for me, a very measly 3 points for Liam. Crippy, you got 8. You won the week. Paddy and Andy were tied on 6. Out of a possible 30, that's pretty shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to give our heads a wobble for when the league comes back.
Well, Man City, Brentford, wasn't it? That, no one got that. And then, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Everton was,
That ruined everyone's coupon, that.
Absolutely.
Well.
Apart from
right,
Liam's.
we kind of not... We cannot not talk about Ronaldo. That's got to be the first thing we talk about. Imagine just like setting fire to your own career the way he's done. I mean, obviously none of us are Man United fans, but you've got to feel bad for them, haven't you? The guy's a hero there, he's a legend, and he's just come out. And yes, what he's saying might be true, but it's the manner in which he's saying it and the fact that he's still on the books there. Crippy, what's your thoughts on it, mate?
I can't believe it. I really can't. You know, all the credit he would get for being a model professional and somebody, and he does look like a petulant kid who hasn't got his own way. He was claiming that the club were forcing him out, but reports suggest that he was trying to leave as well. So I think there's some truth not being told there. I do feel for the fans because when he came back, that was legendary status. You know, him coming back when he could have joined other clubs, but he's really tarnished his reputation at that club now. I still think he'll still go down as a legend for what he did, but
of course,
it's a really horrible way to end it because how do you come back from this after saying what you said about the players, the club, the manager? It's so disrespectful, and it's bad. It's bad times for them.
Former players as well. I mean, he stuck the boot in on Rooney and Gary Neville.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to blow yourself up, I think. Liam, what are you thinking on it?
I just don't understand why he's called out Rooney. I mean, I can see the Neville bit, because obviously Neville's on Sky Sports all the time, but Rooney, he would have been questioned or asked a question about Ronaldo. I mean, obviously, he's one of us as well, so I'll always stick up for him a little bit. But I just found it so uncalled for, though. Like, there's no need for it. Because I've seen a little clip of him saying, well, I'm better looking than him as well. Okay, it was like a bit of a joke, but no need to say that either. Like, we all know that, like, well, come on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, all right, mate. Weird flex. Andy, what's your take?
To be fair, I don't think he even should have gone back there.
Agreed.
No, that's true.
Agreed. They weren't ready.
I think it's one of the things where you've got to that sort of level and then you're going back at, what is he, 37 now?
Yeah, he's on 38 now.
Twilight years, nearly there.
Yeah.
Just don't see it working. Well, it hasn't worked really, has it? So
it's just it was a weird sideways move for him to go back there knowing full well that the club wasn't the same as it was as he left it. with Alex Ferguson, and to go back in knowing this and then still complain about it years down the line, it's just weird. Like, obviously he's trying to force a move in January, but I'm sure Man United wouldn't have complained if he'd gone in and said, look, I want to leave. The man's on like $500,000 a week. They'd gladly take him off the payroll, surely.
They fined him £1 million, haven't they?
Yeah, I saw that. I think so, yeah.
Fortnight's wages.
That's the curse, though. When you're a club with money, there weren't many places that Ronaldo could go that clubs wanted him, and United had the money they were willing to spend on him to bring him back. And as I said, he didn't do his research, did he? Because United aren't anywhere near being challengers for anything, any major honours at the moment, and Ronaldo's used to winning. So it's such a backward step going from that, Real to Juventus to United is, and I think he's angry. I think he's angry at himself for letting his career slip away. Because I don't think Juventus fans don't really look at him as the star he was meant to be either. He was meant to go in there and win the Champions League. Didn't happen. And he lost the title while he was at the club as well. Missed out on the title while he was there. So they really declined while he was there. I definitely think a lot of this is anger at himself for letting his career slip away. And now he's stuck at a club until his contract runs out and he doesn't know what to do. So now he's just gone scorched earth and just attacked everyone connected with the club.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing, like, when your ego is that big, you can't blame yourself. You have to blame somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't have that introspective capability. But I had to laugh last night when it came out that Man United were consulting lawyers before making a statement. That, to me, just suggested that they had a statement written off that was just going to absolutely blast them, and someone went, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
They're still going to have to play him, though, aren't they? This is the funny thing, because he's almost too valuable just to waste away for a season.
Well, like you say, $500,000 a week. You can't have that sitting on your bench doing that.
No, you really can't.
Well, that's it. So what do they do if they want to cancel his contract? Who's he going to go to? Who's going to give him 18-month contract now?
He's got to go to the MLS, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's his last move.
DC United with Rooney.
Yeah. Sure, Rooney would welcome him with open arms, like.
He'll go to LA, won't he? That's where the money's at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, of all the people to Gannon to pour your heart out to, it had to be Piers Morgan, didn't it?
Piers Morgan.
I cannot watch the interview because it's two people that I can't stand in the same room together at the same time.
Yeah.
So I've just been getting all of my information, like second hand, third hand. And Liam, what was the thing that you said about Solskjaer?
I really hope it's true, because apparently
I swear this is a hoax thing. I'm told it's hilarious.
It's got to be. It can't be true.
So
but
funny.
there's a rumor going around that he played a video in the changing rooms instead of doing a team talk, basically of his best goals against whoever it was, and it's like, this is how it's done.
It was his best goals.
Yeah, his best, Solskjaer's best goals. Yeah.
Oh, he is my highlights reel.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I don't know.
I hope it's true. I really hope it is true.
I totally read your message wrong. I thought what he'd done was, instead of like talking to them, he just put a video on of all the goals he conceded and like said, "Look how shit you are."
Oh, okay.
I didn't realise that he was putting his own.
That's
goals
understandable, but no, it was like, this is how it's done, boys. This is how it's
that's
done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that's true. I really
That's
hope
Cloughy-esque, isn't it? That's what Clough would do.
Yeah, definitely.
All that footage he's playing. Say, there you are, lads. If I can do it, you got no excuse.
Absolutely amazing. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on at the World Cup, because he's already been there. He had a bit of a frosty reception of Bruno Fernandes, didn't he, when he linked
I
up
saw
with the
that.
team today. I think they've
Jeez,
made a
there
bit
was a
more of it than there was there.
There was a Portuguese journalist trying to sort of play that down. I was like, well, he did look a bit ticked off. Body language wasn't the greatest, was it, really? With,
I think they blew it
Fernandes.
up, but at the same time, it was a little bit off. But it was funny. If anything happens against him, it's funny.
Do you think they could be like a France? They might implode in the major tournament. Do you reckon that could happen or not?
If he doesn't lift his head up, yeah. He's too influential.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be interesting to see. At least it's something else to keep an eye on when England don't make it out of the group.
Imagine.
Pessimistic or anything.
Imagine.
Right then, let's move on to some football from the weekend, and we've got some rants today. We've got two lads here that are not happy bunnies at all.
Yeah.
Liam, kick us off, mate. What was going on with Tarkovsky?
Well, the referee just don't want to play the rules, does he?
I can't.
Like, there's a head injury. The rules are he's supposed to blow up straight away. And it's the fact that there was one shot and then a second one, which then obviously got put in. Like, he had 2 attempts to blow up. Like, he's out on the floor. He then received treatment for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can understand like if he was groggy and he was getting up, but it was spaced out on the floor. I mean, won't like not excusing the performance because it was absolutely terrible, but it's still 1-0. We're going maybe 1-0 at half time, and it's a different game. I mean, I don't think we could have still been playing now. We wouldn't have created a chance, but it was just terrible. But again, it's the rules. I just don't understand it. It's pick and choose. I mean, Andy's going to go on about his in a minute, like, but it's just ridiculous, and I'm sick of it.
I mean, I'm obviously not an Everton fan at all, but I was raging. I was shouting at the screen when I saw it because he's flat out. And
Yeah.
what the actual fuck is VAR doing?
Yeah.
See, this is the other thing. I don't know how VAR can get involved in it. So the guy on commentary was saying VAR should be looking at this because at the end of the day, VAR is there for clear and obvious errors. Well, it's a clear and obvious error. He should have blown for a free kick.
Yeah,
or
he completely
stopped play, basically. See, if that was the other way around, I'd be a bit annoyed from a Bournemouth point of view. Like, well, the referee's not blown. You play to the whistle. We should be allowed the goal. I can accept that, but the referee should have blown the whistle.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like if it's at the other end of the pitch, you could understand it. But Tarkovsky's laying on the floor, and they're using him as like a table tennis net, headering the ball over him.
Yeah.
It's not as if you can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, like all the players in and around the box are like trying to avoid stamping on them, like when a cat gets under your feet when you're trying to open a tin of beans. It's just.
I don't think anyone would argue if it was just given, if they just stopped play as well, because like I say, he's completely out. He's on the deck, and it's like there's just no argument there that you just have to blow the whistle for his protection so he can get treatment. Bizarre that I don't know what the ref saw. I really don't understand that because they were the ones that brought the rule in about the head injuries because they were trying to care about concussions, and it was always the minor head collision or whatever would always get flagged, wouldn't it? Even if it was a tiny one, they'd be on it. And now they've gone the opposite way. They've just letting too many things go and not making a decision on it. So it's bizarre.
See, another thing happened in the first half. Obviously, the Tarkovsky thing happened, and then maybe 10-15 minutes later, I want to say it was a Slanky, went down in the area holding his head, and Everton broke, and the referee blew up for a free kick. So he was holding his head. And Cody, I've never seen him run so fast, sprinted at the referee, kicking off, saying, well, why have you not done... You didn't do it before for the goal, but now you're doing it now.
Yeah. Well, like you said in the message, make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to laugh yesterday. I was watching one of Fozzie's videos, Ben Foster's, and he said that he hates VAR because if a referee misses something, you can accept that.
Yeah.
But when VAR misses something, it takes the piss. And
VAR's there so they look after the mates.
Yeah.
For me.
And that's what it's starting to feel like.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind them not stopping play with the head injury? Did they say?
I don't know if they give a reason. I don't think they give one.
Again,
Position in the table.
No accountability.
Because you could literally cancel the goal, couldn't you, after the fact, if you're going to review the footage and say, no, by the letter of the law, we have to say this has to stop. Yeah. So it's so weird. They could have fixed the problem.
I don't know what they were doing. It just that's what I mean. I think it's one of them. After this weekend's, after that goal, they're going to look at it and go, right, so next time we'll disallow the goal. But unfortunately, sorry Everton, you're going to
get punished for it this week.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yep. We'll stick with Everton because obviously it was a shite performance. Does that put Frank Lampard under pressure? This is your forum, Liam.
From you guys looking on the outside, what do you reckon?
He's a dead man walking.
He's got to be under pressure, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as dead man walking. Although, saying that, the way the fans were going on at the weekend, went through Iwobi's shirt back at him, and
So
it wasn't for all them
it wasn't a Iwobi shirt as well. I want to point that one out.
I was going to say, it showed you the shirt. The shirt had no no number on the back of it when someone shuts it. I think it was someone from the crowd.
Yeah, media full of shite.
So,
but still,
there's loads of Everton fans who say, yeah, get him out, but it doesn't matter. We can chop and change a manager. We've done it for the past 3-4 years now, and nothing's happened. So he's brought in 7 players that started on the weekend, but if you don't replace Richarlison, it's pointless. We replace Richarlison with no disrespect Dwight McNeil and Mopé.
yeah,
They're not even fit enough to lace his boots.
I'll be honest. When Everton signed them, I was like, ooh. Those are targets that Everton would have been going for under Ancelotti. It felt like to me. I was like, not terrible players, but just lower standard
targets in general. Yeah. So I mean, the Ancelotti that was. I think that set us back a little bit as well. As much as obviously,
of course,
Ancelotti is a name, but signing like James Rodriguez, he's on 150, 175k a week, and he played half a season when he wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's one of them. He's a luxury player, but it's only plays when he wants to.
Yeah.
But we were after that Gakpo from PSV all summer.
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
Then who's the Ukrainian from Shakhtar, who Arsenal now want?
Yeah.
We're after him. We're after Kudus from Ajax, but Ajax didn't want to let him go because they were selling Anthony. So we had a lot of players in the pipeline, but it all depended on other teams' transfers. But at the same time, we've known that financial fair play was on our back. So we knew we had to sell someone, and it was going to be Richarlison, which was the start of July. So it's not like it's not coming. We've had since the start of July all the way up to transfer window deadline to replace him.
do you think
So it's just a weird one.
The club's just still in recovery mode from spending all that money on shite, so it doesn't really matter who the manager is at the minute. He's fucked.
To me, yeah, definitely, because he's stabilised the defence a lot better. Midfield has been better, although they were non-existent on the weekend. So, as individuals, Idrissa Gana Gueye was brilliant first time round for us, hence why he got moved to PSG, and he's still got the capabilities, but I'd rather see James Garner get a chance, who apparently was injured over the weekend, so that's probably why. But Onana was brought in to be Garner Gueye's replacement further on, but just from just looking at him, he looks like he'd be wasted sitting in front of a back four. Like he's just got such an engine. Obviously, Iwobi's better as a 10, and James Garner's supposed to be an all-rounder. He can play box to box or deep line playmaker. We saw it for Forest. He was a baller in the Championship. But it's not defending on midfield. It's scoring goals. We can't score.
Gordon's got 3 goals all season. He's your top goal scorer.
Gordon had a broken hand on the weekend, so he was rested apparently. But he's starting to piss me off because he's believing his own hype. He had a little price tag on him the last week of the transfer window, and he's like, I'm the bee's knees now.
Yeah. So if the unthinkable was to happen and he got relegated, do you think we could bounce back straight away?
I don't think we'll get relegated.
That one is question.
Last season, but last season was completely different. I'd accepted it. We got beat by, was it Norwich? And I was like, yeah, we're done. No, it was, sorry, at home. Josh King scored a hat-trick. I was like, what the hell is this? But, no, we won't go down. I think second half...
Trust Lampard?
Yeah. It's the relationship between the fans and the players was so bad last season, and he's brought them back together. There's going to be times where it's going to be terrible, That's happened to everyone. But I think it was just really toxic last weekend, and it was poor to see. It was 3 bad games in a row. Obviously, 2 back-to-back at Bournemouth, the opposite side of the country for us, and it's just terrible.
So this break's probably come at the right time for Everton then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, we need to recharge our players. If Calvert-Lewin comes back at January and he's got over his injuries, I still think we need another winger and a striker, because Mopé, I thought he'd be all right, but he's not.
Hasn't done it, has he?
He's not done that much.
That's why it felt to me that Everton weren't, like, Mopé definitely didn't feel like a number 1 name on the shortlist. He felt like number 5 or number 6. Same with McNeil, like handy players that have done something in the Premier League or whatever, but not they're not going to win you a lot of games, And when you can't score goals, it's a worry, isn't it? Because you look at I look at Everton's squad, and some players are decent, but I think a lot of the players, they look kind of average to me. And when you're not scoring goals, it suggests that there's something wrong with the build-up phase. That's why I sort of say, do you trust Lampard? Because if you're not scoring goals and putting the ball in the right position, that's kind of that's it. That's how you stay up, isn't it? If you can't defend but you can score goals, you've always got an out. But if you can't even score, you are just going to drop so many points, week in, week out. And you're putting some spirited performances, because Everton can defend a bit better normally. Forget the Bournemouth game, but yeah, when you're not showing enough threat at the other end, like with Villa had the same problem in the past. That's when you just see so many 0-0s when you should have won 1-0, so many 2-0 defeats when you could have had something out of it, just because you don't have that threat. So you spend a lot of the game playing right football, trying to knock on the door, but not really looking likely of ever scoring. So I worry about Everton, to be honest. Like I say,
we were linked with them last year. Even when Ancelotti was there, obviously he went, then Benitez came in. So our number 1 striker is Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
we brought in McNeil to cross the ball in on one side, and we got Gordon or Gray on the other, crossing the other ball. That's what it is. It's old-fashioned centre-forward play. Get the ball into the box. He's good in the air, and we can have runners off of him. But he got injured on the night of the first game of the season somehow, and obviously that just went all tits up. And we didn't have Mopé then either, so we then had to go out and sign a striker.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the panic came in. I mean, we should have had one already before that, but yeah, we need another striker in January. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it'll be the difference. If you have someone that can score 10 in maybe the second half of the season, that will be the difference. Otherwise, I don't know where the goals are coming from with the Everton team. They're going to have to work so hard to find a way.
It's just Calvert-Lewin. We need to keep Calvert-Lewin fit. If we keep him fit, we think we're all right. But we can't bank on him being fit, because the past 18 months, it's just been terrible for him.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention Simon Jordan is an absolute wet lettuce. He's
I waited for you to say that.
He triggered me. I don't know if you guys have seen it. So
yeah, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it. So.
And it sent me over the top.
What did he say?
He was going on about Everton, and I was like, fair enough. But then he was saying, so you signed the players like McNeil and Demarai Gray, who are decent players, but they've been relegated before. But then it doesn't help when your number 9 striker is on the front of GQ holding a handbag.
Oh, he's doing that argument.
What has that got to do with football?
Yeah.
The guy's been injured for 18 months. Came out in the summer saying he was struggling with mental health, and then Simon Jordan's going, oh, he's on the front of GQ, a handbag.
Yeah.
Oh, give your head a wobble, you absolute lemon.
He is a tit, like, absolute tit. To the point where...
keeping a PG there as well.
Fuck that. I did a piece the other week that mentioned Simon Jordan, and I got feedback from Paddy, like, he does the feedback emails, and I got one that just copied that link, and they said, love a Simon Jordan slap face.
Oh, if that's the case, then he'll love mine.
You'll go wild on Simon Jordan and you'll get some praise from Paddy. Right, we'll let you calm down a wee bit, and let's get Andy wound up. Andy, mate, what is going on at Leeds there?
I'm not even going to get mad about it.
Why not? I would. The keeper was used as a cannonball, mate.
Oh, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That was. I can't even. For about 2 hours after the game, I was still sat there just with my mouth open, looking at the telly, thinking, "How has that actually happened?" And when people say the keepers get so much protection, this was like a UFC fight. You just got completely poleaxed into the back of the net and then sat on him. And obviously Kane just gets the ball and blasts it in.
Yeah.
And then they go to VAR, and they went to VAR, so they're going to check it, and they said, "Yeah, nothing wrong with it, crack on." I'm like, what? I mean, I text you guys, didn't I?
It was like the Legion of Doom from the WWF, wasn't it? They just
Yeah, it was. Off the top rope, just completely pulled him into the net.
See no light.
I mean, it's like Liam said with their game. If that goal's disallowed, we went up the other end not long after and scored. That's 2-0. That's a completely different game. Tottenham 2-0 down at home. You know what I mean? The fans start getting on the backs. Gets a bit basically like Ellen Road when we're losing. Gets a bit toxic. It's a completely different game. But whatever happens, you can't legislate for our defending. Defending is just abysmal.
Has been a bit of a problem for you this season. Scoring hasn't been an issue.
Crippy said it a couple of weeks ago. Like, you can score as many goals as you want, but you're shipping goals like that. We ship 5 to Brentford. We're just shipping 3 and 4 every week.
Yeah. You put 3 past Tottenham, you expect to win, don't you? That's
away
the thing with Leeds.
Yeah, away from home, score 3 goals, and we end up still losing.
Was it?
So, yeah.
Went you in the lead like 3 times?
Yeah, went in front 3 times, yeah. And then just comical defended again. But the thing is, it all stems from not buying defenders in the summer. We didn't buy a left back. We stuck with Firpo. We've got no other left back. Stroik, who's probably one of our best central defenders, is having to play left back. And we're just open all the time. The system he plays was so narrow, and it's so easy to play against Leeds. When we're in the press and we go high up that end, we look all right. But managers nowadays, they've got a nous, haven't they? You're not playing back in the Championship. With all due respect, you're not playing Bristol City and them sort of teams. They decide not to pass it through you. They just ping it over the top.
Yeah.
And that's where we get caught out all the time. And then, like say, Adams gets sent off at the end because he's frustrated. He's been chasing back all day. He gets sent off for 2 yellows. But yeah, just the defending. It's laughable. If it wasn't so serious, I'd just be laughing my head off. If it wasn't so serious.
If it was somebody else's club, you mean?
Yeah, definitely. If that was another club now, I'd just be laughing my tits off. But it's just so bad. But yeah, January can't come soon enough for me. He's going to have to bring some defenders in. Going to have to. The thing is, it's his loyalty to the Championship team as well. Like Klitsch, Cooper, all them sort of them ones who are in and amongst it now. Thanks, you got promoted, but you can't just keep wheeling these out for years to come. We're going to be putting Cooper on when he's 40, just because we got promoted. I mean, if that's the case, we may as well go back to the League One team and bring back Beckford and Kilkenny and Naylor and all them lot. Do you know what I mean? He needs to. He come out yesterday in the transfer thing, and he said, "We've looked at targets for January. We know we need a striker, this, that, and the other." But at the minute, goals aren't a problem. I know we do need a striker because Bamford's just in and out all the time. But you've got Gell out there. He's played like 4 minutes in 2 weeks. In a fortnight, he comes on for 3 or 4 minutes here and there. When we're losing in the 85th minute, and expect him to do something. I mean, Rodrigo, he's got 9 this season. I didn't expect him to get anywhere near that. He's scored a couple of tap-ins and penalties here and there, but we need some competition. We've got no competition. Like Bamford, guarantee now if he's fully fit, he'll just walk straight back into that team. Guarantee it.
Is that Rodrigo your shit? That's why you play for Leeds?
Yeah, that was just hilarious. I text you guys that was brilliant. I've been trying to find a clip of it and I can't find the clip anywhere. Yeah, he was taking a corner and you just heard a proper thick southern accent go, "You shit, Rodrigo, that's why you play for Leeds, you shit." He put the ball in, it got nodded about a few times, and got flipped back in, he just ran in and blasted it straight in. It was absolutely brilliant.
I wish I'd heard it. It sounded class.
Yeah, I was watching on a dodgy stream, so it must have been like the microphones in that corner, but it just picked it up perfect.
He's a good player too, Rodrigo. He's good.
Yeah, it's frustrating though. He's another one. He'll have 2 or 3 games. He's like Harrison. 2 or 3 games, and then you don't see him again for 8 or 9.
That tends to be why a club like Leeds can grab them, isn't it? It's because like you say, you'll get a few good games out of them and they go quiet for a month or so, and that is the difference, isn't it? Those players that can be consistent for 20, 30 games in a season do tend to move a bit higher up. But I see the good in him. I thought he's got a nice goal against Tottenham. Looked handy in there, but I can imagine you watch him all season, and some games you'll just miss some sitters, and you're just scratching your head like, "Come on, mate."
Well, just the broad spectrum of Rodriguez. You look at Tottenham, fantastic. His second goal was brilliant, and then you just flip back to the Arsenal game where he just did that crazy crossfield pass. You just think, what is that about?
Yeah. Is that the same player?
That same player, yeah. So
he's a match of the day player.
Frustrating.
That's what it is.
Yeah. When January comes, if we get a striker, a decent centre back, and maybe another midfielder, I think we'll be out. Well, I'm hoping we'll be all right. Hoping that'll be enough to get us over the line, but it's not looking good, to be fair.
There's a lot of shit teams in the league this year.
I was thinking this as well.
It's going to be tight down the bottom.
The thing is, all them ones below us, they've all started to pull results out now. I mean, we got those two results against. We beat Liverpool and Bournemouth, shot up to like 12th. Then when we lost, Forest won. Obviously, Bournemouth, they were just below us. They jumped back over us again. But it's down to 2 points again now.
Yeah. Bit of a mad one. Yeah. Just having a look at what else we've got. Oh, yeah, my point from last week that we didn't get time to do. I just wanted to just highlight shit chants that you hear around the Premier League grounds, because there's one. Well, there's one that I absolutely hate and one that I don't mind. It's just the way it's sung, right? So, obviously, Spurs have adopted When the Saints, and it's When the Spurs. Like Newcastle have nicked it and When the Mags. But why do Spurs do it so slow? What is that about? That pisses me off.
Put their own twist on it.
There's another chant they do called "Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur." Like United. Sorry, what have Tottenham won?
What glory?
Where's the glory?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like it's a weird one.
But no, top of the league for shit chants is that one that Liverpool do, where they're just Liverpool. It's like they just woke up. Liverpool.
Yeah. Dreary.
Oh, it's fucking awful. And it just seems like every week all we do is stick the boot in on Liverpool.
I'll be honest, Villa's is pretty bad when they just say Villa. It's like, yeah, great. That's really inspiring.
Who you are.
Yeah, because Chelsea do it too.
As well. Yeah, at Anfield they put on the speakers before the game, don't they, for that song that Celtic sing as well, and then that's it. And then the speakers turn off, and then stoppage time comes up. They sing the song at the end, or when they score a goal. But the other chant that annoys me is the goal kick one. That triggers me. It just screams lower league football. That's literally it. It is. Awful. You are League One, League Two, Championship football. And there's one other one. There's one other one as well.
I know which one you're going to say,
what is it? Go on.
E-I-E-I-E-I-O.
That is.
Oh yeah, when we were promotion. This is what was. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a lower league.
Yeah, that's non-league stuff. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, that is a pretty poor one from our lads. I have to be honest. I agree with you on that.
On that, I'll tell you some of the most pathetic bit of patter I've ever seen in a game was when I was watching Forest Green against, I think it was against Gloucester City, and John Parkin. I know, this is proper non-league stuff. John Parkin was up front, I think, for Forest Green, and he'd obviously put on a bit of weight in his later years. Still a good player, but put on a bit of weight. So it was all that, like, fat guy, all that kind of stuff, saying he's fat and whatever. He inevitably scores because he's just immense in the air, and he gives it such a weak little the ear thing to the crowd. I was like, mate, you should have been more like in your face about that. And then when he did that, they were like, oh, look at you celebrating against a non-league team. And it's like, oh, this is rubbish. This is rubbish from everyone involved. It's absolutely terrible. I was like, this is awful. The weakest bit of banter I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, improve, please. Yeah.
What about the best chance you've heard?
Some of the
Palace.
best ones
I love Palace
be
as well.
repeated on here.
Palace is no swearing. Palace is my favourite one. The only thing is, it's been copied, hasn't it, by the clubs now? And it's like, I really love Palace's one. That's probably one of my favourite chants.
The thing is, it's only when they're at home. Like they don't have that away. They don't have that atmosphere when they're away from home.
Which is ironic, isn't it? Because normally it's the other way around. The diehards are normally the loudest,
Yeah,
away
our away
games.
fans can out sing any other.
Yeah.
What would you say is the funniest chant you've ever heard?
Again,
Go on, Andy, you can say it. Go on.
I've got one, but it just always tickles me. Fulham sing it, or they used to. I don't know if they do it now, but it was the Zamora one. Do you know the
when the
ball hits Rosie?
Yes,
yeah, that's good.
When the ball hits Rose Ed, it's through the end. That's Zamora. That was
Zamora,
good.
that one was mint.
Yeah.
And well done for keeping that one PG, because all the ones that come to my mind are just vile.
Yeah.
Pure vile. Right then. So, as we've established, there's no more Premier League for 6 weeks, is it?
Yeah,
But we have got a World
December,
Cup, so
yeah.
we're not being deprived of football.
Well,
Gareth
before we get on to the
Southgate
World Cup, though,
announced-
Ash, sorry.
Oh,
Before we get
how
on to the
then?
World Cup, we may as well mention Newcastle to keep you happy.
Yeah, it's on the.
Oh,
yeah.
see,
not
it was
mention
on the
it. He was
list, and
skating round
I
it.
brushed over it because I got so much grief for mentioning it at the start. But yes,
Yeah.
we do have to mention it.
So,
Come on then,
are
praise me,
you
lads.
going to do it? Do you reckon you're going to finish ahead of schedule?
Do you know what? I'm starting to believe. I was skeptical before. I thought it was just a good run, taking advantage of teams not being at their best. But it's obviously we're there for Christmas now.
Yeah.
This is real. Whether we'll finish top 4, I don't know, but there's a definite European spot in it for us this season.
I just want to point out one thing, though. So, 2 years ago, we were second on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Where did you end
Yeah,
up?
we had Ancelotti in charge, but we finished 10th or 11th.
Again,
So,
though,
I
I'd be
think
happy
in January,
enough.
if yous go hard and just go straight all out, you've got money to spend. Obviously, financial fair play, but that's a 3-year rolling contract or rolling period thing.
Exactly.
And if you get Champions League, you've got that money to back yous.
The
So
one,
I think you get Madison. He's
Hopefully.
you go for, and I reckon I'd go for Zaha. I think he'd absolutely tear it up. He knows the
would be
league.
good, but he doesn't
He's an
pass the no
expensive
defence
risk, though,
policy.
isn't he? Yeah, he's
I think he's
a
out of
risk
contract
one.
he's out of contract in the summer though.
I
So it'd be
but
a
it's
bit
of a
cheaper.
whingy
Just
tit
his
when things don't
wages.
go his way. And that's an issue for Eddie Howe.
He seems to like try and start in fights, doesn't he? He's just pushing people about and arguing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're seeing these Geordies up there, aren't they? Like a little bit of handbags, and they're all.
Yeah, we're all about family now. We've all turned into Vin Diesel. We've bought into the Eddie Howe thinking it's all family. But no, like, because we're there or thereabouts now, yeah, we will probably go hard in January. Madison has to be priority. I don't care who else to get in. If we get Madison, we're guaranteed European football, I think. If he doesn't
I think
get spackered at the World Cup.
when you look at Newcastle's chances, you look at the big six around them, and it feels to me like a season like when Leicester won the title, where a lot of teams you expected to do better fell by the wayside. Look at Chelsea, Liverpool, United. I think Newcastle will. They've been consistent on their own. Fair play to them. Give them credit for them. But I think just because United and Liverpool aren't at the races this season as well, it really gives Newcastle a chance to take advantage. Because next season is not going to be like that, is it? It's going to be a lot harder. I know there's always a thing of like, no, we're just building. It's like, no, you've got a chance here. Take it. Because next season isn't. You're not going to get. Well, you shouldn't get United and Liverpool having another bad season in a row. It doesn't tend to happen with both clubs at the same time. And Chelsea being outside the top 6. This is a real unique opportunity for Newcastle to capitalise on. So I really do think they can do it based on the fact that they look more the finished article than clubs around them, which is surprising considering how quickly this has come about.
Exactly.
But I'm going to back them for top 4.
Well, like you said there, if we do it this season, we haven't got that excuse anymore of we're building.
Yeah.
It needs to be built because
Yeah.
the whole idea of building is you build the squad up ready for when you've got European football and you're playing twice as many games. So if we do that in the first season, we've got to really make sure our squad's up to
Exactly.
strength.
Just got the league to worry about. It's a good problem to have. Just one game a week, maybe the other one as well, but gives Newcastle such an advantage where they can literally just focus on that.
Yeah.
And I think it's in their favour. Like I say, they're going to spend in January. They won't go crazy. They don't need to go totally crazy. Just beef up a few positions. Like I say, we said about Bruno in the past. that when he doesn't play, you kind of lose 2 players rather than just one. But yeah, I think why not? Best time to go for it is now.
Bruno was off his game on Saturday.
Also, as well, if you was to get Champions League, think of the players you could attract the year after.
Well, yeah, that's it. And obviously, with us sitting in third in the Champions League place now, we can use that to attract these Champions League players. So, I'm starting to believe. I think it could happen, but I won't be devastated if it doesn't.
It's just sad getting there, isn't it? It's the false hope, isn't it? You see yourself. If you were 6th or 7th, you'd say, oh, "Okay, I'm good with this." But because you're there now, and it really is Newcastle's to throw away. I really feel because, like I say, Liverpool look like they're going to go into a transition period now. United are all over the place. Chelsea are having an awful run of form at the moment as well. So all the clubs that Newcastle expected to be maybe above them are faltering. So it's like, okay, if you're not going to take this chance, then we will. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at
and Everton and Leeds are having a stinker as well. So
that's the championship. That's a title
and
race
West Ham
wide open. Speaking of Chelsea, though, do you think Graham Potter's under pressure there? He's only like 6 games in, but
it's awkward, isn't it? They've stood by him, but it's so awkward. It's like you can't lose 3 in a row, no matter what manager you are, no matter what club you are. Really, you can't afford to lose that many games in a row and still be we're building towards something. It's like Chelsea will wield the axe quickly if they need to.
Yeah.
I reckon if it was still the Abramovich days, he'd probably be gone already.
I think it all depends who comes available after the World Cup.
That's true. A point as well,
Yeah, good point,
Just thought I'd throw that one in.
I don't think Potter would be in a job if Abramovich was still there, to be honest.
No,
he's not an appointment for him, is he?
No, he wouldn't have gone there in the first place. No,
he would have gone Continental.
He sure as hell wouldn't have lasted this long. I mean, this long, he's been there a week.
Yeah.
So, Gareth Southgate did his World Cup squad. For the most part, fairly decent. How, though, has Maguire got in again? How is Calvin Phillips in? And how is Kyle Walker in? Can somebody explain this one to me?
Well, Maguire
baffled.
Is just because of him, I think, because he can pass the ball and he's obviously a threat in the air. I think that, I think he's probably better in the air than Jones and Dyer, maybe. That's how Gareth Southgate sees it. And I know he's being loyal to some of his players that did well in past tournaments, but that's all I can think of. Set pieces.
Back to Andy's thing about you might as well just bring back Jermaine Beckford for Leeds.
I know. But I think set pieces are something that are going to be a factor in this tournament for goals, and I think that's probably what that's in his thinking.
I saw a meme today about the Ronaldo interview thing, and it said, picture Ronaldo in a quote marks, and it said, when I was last at Manchester United 20 years ago, the fridge was fully stocked in the canteen. Now it wears a captain's armband and plays in the back four.
I saw that. He does do better for England, doesn't he?
He does.
In his defence.
He should be nowhere near the squad, though.
No, 100%, no.
Because you're going off of he can pass the ball. Sorry, Ash, I want to get on with this one. You're going about he can pass the ball and he can header, but Dan Burn can do that. Yeah. He's left-footed. We don't have a left-footed centre-back.
The one position that we're screaming out for, and we've got a ready-made option there that got completely overlooked.
He's the captain for United. He can't even get into their squad.
Exactly.
Sure.
So, it doesn't make any sense. I mean,
and he's just garbage.
Dan Burn came out and said, I can't believe they didn't take us. I don't think there's any left-footed defender playing better football than me at the minute. And his
face just doesn't fit, does it? He's right. He's completely right. But you know that his face doesn't fit, does it? In the England
team,
team?
All it is. Yeah.
It's the badge. That's what it is. The badge doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Southgate always says he won't pick on reputation. It'll just be on form.
That went out the window quite quickly, didn't it?
If you're not playing, what form have you got?
And it is always in his defence
as well.
Other managers do it too, don't they? When it comes to leaving out good players, as England, we're rife with it. We always just pick our favourites, don't we? Hodgson did it, back in the day as well. So they always say, "Oh, it's on form only," but they have to have a base 11, don't they? That they know are going to be in the squad. Because if we did pick on form, we'd have a team that would never play together in their life, would we? And I think that's
I suppose, yeah.
But yeah, Tomori's got a right to be a bit annoyed. He's like, well, what more can I do? Win a title in Italy and I play well. He doesn't get a sniff either. So yeah, you live and die by these decisions, though. Like I say, if England don't perform
you
well,
go and die
people
by
can
this
rightly
decision.
so point to Southgate and say, well, you've picked this team. You've had enough years with this team to know what they can do, and you've said, no, I trust these guys. They'll deliver for me. So yeah, he'll live and die by it.
Yep.
Still no reason to take 2 injured players over, though, is there? I mean, you've got Phillips, who's played 5 minutes of football all season, and Walker, who's just literally rolled off the bloody surgeon's table.
Yep.
I wrote about Walker today. I think his is more interesting than Phillips's because even if Walker comes back, England could have a settled team by then. So who's saying that Walker will come straight in and do something? Because he's not going to be match fit. He's not played for a month or so. And like I said, if England have won their first 2 games in the group, why would Southgate then want to change it around just to accompany Walker if the team are playing well? In a tournament setting, you don't do that, do you? When you've got a winning team, you stick with it. You don't make any changes if you can help it.
Yeah.
So, same with Phillips. It's like, unless Phillips is going to be starting instantly, which I don't know if he is or not, because he's not played any football at all, his match fitness is going to be terrible. It's such a gamble to say, oh yeah, we'll wait for them for the latter stages. We'll give him a go after the group, because it's like, well, the England team is going to be settled at that point, and then he's going to have his first game when all the players are really into it and they know what the style is and whatnot. And
he's going to be completely off the pace.
Completely, yeah. And you know that's going to happen, isn't it? He'll get a game or come off the bench and he'll just look ordinary because he's not quite ready yet. And then everyone's going to get on Southgate's back about it. He'll say, "No, I trusted him to deliver." You can see it now. So
Yeah.
What about Conor Gallagher? There's been a bit of debate whether he deserved his call-up or not. He was fantastic for Palace last season, but what's he done this season apart from that 1 goal against Palace?
Nothing.
I think him being an all-rounder is the only reason why. Because our midfielders, we don't. Well, I say we don't. Southgate doesn't want specialist players. He doesn't want solely creative players. He doesn't want solely defensive players. He wants people that can do a bit of both. And Gallagher can do that. Last season, he was amazing at that. I know he hasn't played a lot this season, but Bellingham's the same as well. Bellingham can kind of do everything in the middle, which I think is why Gallagher got the nod. But that was one of those where it's like, I think that was a bit of an eyebrow raiser, personally. Yeah, something. Because he does work hard and he can turn over the ball well. He's got a decent eye for goal and he can create. But this season we haven't really seen a lot of that, have we? So it's Southgate just hoping that he can be a good system player. But it might be a genius move. We'll see. We'll see how much he actually plays, though. That's a telling thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, start with Andy. What are your thoughts on England in the World Cup? Then, how far are we going to get?
Going to win it.
Can I talk to somebody sensible? Liam, how far are we going to get?
It's coming home. Gotta believe, haven't you?
Did you watch any of our performances in the Nations League?
No. Of course I didn't. Who watches the Nations League?
I don't know. We do tend to turn it on for actual tournaments, but it's just, I don't know. Those performances have just knocked any confidence out of that team that I could possibly have had. If we should get out of the group.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ! If we don't get out of that group, then Southgate shouldn't just be sacked. He should just be buried at sea. No offense to my Welsh friends, but no, it's terrible. I kind of see us getting past the quarterfinals, to be honest. But again, I'm a pessimistic Newcastle fan, so I'm not used to things going well. So Southgate picked his squad, and we've all picked a team to face Iran. Have we? Did we all do that?
Yeah.
You done your homework? Good lads. Liam, this was your idea, so you can kick us off, mate. Who've you got in goal?
Have we all gone for the same formation before I start? Have you all gone like 4-3-3?
No.
No, I went for 5-3.
I mixed it up.
5-2-2-1 actually.
Yeah, I went for something weird.
Yeah,
same.
Just because we know what Southgate's going to do, don't we? We know he's going to just play 5 at the back or 3 at the back and then wing back. So I thought I might as well stick with what's likely, and then
I've only gone and lost the bloody thing, haven't I?
Well, I'll go for England's actual number 1, as is his squad number. That's who's in goal for me.
even after his display at the weekend, he shouldn't even get picked for fucking Everton again. Never mind England.
Well, you'd rather him get those mistakes out now than in the World Cup.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah, let's hope it works that way.
I mean, obviously, I've gone with Pope. But how about the non-Evertonian and Newcastle lads? Andy, who's between the sticks for you?
I went for Pope as well.
Good lad.
Yeah, I wanted to see Pope. I don't know if he'll do it, but yeah.
I think it will be Pickford. Just because, again...
I find it weird that none of us has gone for the guy that's top of the league.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is a bit weird. But they're not there because of him.
No.
Yeah.
So it looks like I've gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation, just because... Why not, eh? So who's your back line then, Liam?
So I've gone Trippier right back.
Yeah.
Ben White, Stones, and Luke Shaw for the purpose of, like how I've watched Newcastle play, when they're attacking, Trippier is bombing up the wing. Luke Shaw is better defensively than he is going forward, and he can play as a free then.
Yeah. Trippier is your back line?
I went Trippier right back because I've got wing backs in mind. So my centre backs were Ben White, Dyer, and Stones. And I thought Trippier, and I know people are going to get annoyed at this, but I had Saka on the other side as a sort of makeshift wing back. I'd rather him than Shaw on the left, to be honest. I know it's not right at all. I like Saka higher up the pitch, but I want him in my team, and I think I'd rather him on the left than Shaw. We just haven't got any good left-sided players, have we? So yeah.
Yeah, fair dues. Andy?
I literally picked exactly the same back four as Liam.
To be honest, I had one different, and I was close to putting Ben White in, but I went with Dyer. I don't know. I think it was more, I was just thinking that's likely he'll be picked. I don't know why. I think I've done that a couple of times. Instead of picking who I would have picked, I've gone with who
I have a habit of that
be.
too. Yeah.
So, yeah, Shaw, Dyer, Stones, Trippier. What about your midfield, Crippy?
I went for Rice and Bellingham, bang in the middle. Rice, holding player. Bellingham can do it all. So good balance
Bellingham.
in
Same.
Oh, yeah. You two have been collaborating again, haven't you?
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? They're the two best midfielders we've got in the team.
Liam?
Gallagher, Philip, no, I'm joking. Rice, Bellingham and Mount.
Who? Rice, who and Mount?
Rice, Bellingham and Mount.
Yeah.
Rice, Bellingham and Mount.
Rice and Bellingham for me.
Yeah.
Right, forward lines. Like, obviously I've got like 3 and then a 1 up front. But I've got Raheem Sterling on the left, Maddison down the middle, Saka on the right, Kane up front. Crippy, who you got?
Because I've got a 5-2-2-1. My two I've got Foden and Sterling. So obviously put them on the opposite flanks so they can cut inside, that kind of thing. I love Foden. I think he's awesome.
And I couldn't find a spot for him because I wanted Maddison in.
Well, I hope to see Maddison against Iran in a way, because I think he could do something there, and it'd be a gamble worth doing. But yeah, I think Foden's so good, so hopefully he can deliver.
Yeah, Liam, mate.
I want to take out Mount and put Maddison in. I forgot he actually got picked.
Yeah.
I completely forgot he got picked, to be fair.
That's fair.
So he's ahead of Mount, but then I'd have Foden, Saka, and it's got to be Kane, hasn't it, unfortunately?
It has to be Kane, yeah. Andy, who you got?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I've got Foden, Maddison and Saka, and then Kane up front.
So we're all pretty close then.
Yeah.
Not much difference. It's just whether Southgate agrees with us or whether he's got his own ideas. I would imagine he should have his own ideas. I bloody hope so. He gets paid enough.
He's got to be bold, hasn't he? He's got to be bold with the lineup and not too pragmatic. We should be favourites against Iran. We should play a team that puts them to bed. It shouldn't be a case of I'm just wary of their threat. No, they should be worried about us.
Yeah,
we've got so many good attacking players that it'd be a waste to not have them in there.
If we come out of Monday with a 2-0 or greater win, my faith will be restored a little bit.
Yeah.
Anything less than 2-0 and
Nothing silly.
I think we're struggling.
Yeah.
Has anyone else got anything they would like to add?
So what do you make to squad numbers? Is it something he's looking into or not?
Generally speaking, like Premier League back. Are we back on the Premier League now?
So England.
I honestly haven't even looked at them.
No,
so Pickford's been given the number 1. Harry Maguire's been given number 6.
Well, yeah, we know those.
Jack Grealish has been given number 7.
7, yeah.
He shouldn't even be in the squad.
Lucky to be in the squad.
So that's why I was thinking.
This is what worries me. Yeah, I honestly never even thought and never even looked, but that is a worry.
Do you know what Sterling is? He normally likes Sterling, doesn't he, Southgate?
I think it was number 10.
Did I read somewhere someone was given number 40?
No. Is that right?
You might have read it, but it's not right.
Have you got a list of them there? The squad numbers.
Rice was number 4. Number 4. Sorry, you made me say 40.
Right.
I'll get it now. Let's have a look again.
If Foden's on the bench against Iran, I'm going to be livid. I'm going to say that if Grealish gets the nod over Foden, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, if Grealish gets a nod over anyone, it's ridiculous. His form has just been absolutely honking. Are you winning, Liam?
Still trying to find them. I should have just typed in England squad numbers, really, shouldn't I? But
maybe, but then again, I couldn't find a bloody picture on my own phone, so.
There was someone on telly, I was doing something, and I heard someone on TV, and I was like, someone's number 40, and I thought I'll check that later, and then I forgot to check it.
So I've got them now, right? So Pickford 1, Walker 2, Shaw 3, Rice 4, Stones 5, Maguire 6, Grealish 7, Henderson 8, Kane 9, Sterling 10, Rashford 11, Trippier 12, Pope 13, Phillips 14, Dyer 15, Cody 16, Saka 17, Trent 18, Mount 19, Foden 20, White 21, Bellingham 22, Ramsdale 23, Wilson 24, Maddison 25, and Gallagher 26.
What it was is, I would have heard the Phillips, and it was 14, wasn't it?
14, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them I think are sticking, but yeah, I think some other ones, I can't see Rashford starting. I'd be shocked if he did.
No.
Yeah, some of them don't make sense in a one.
Henderson being number 8 as well.
Herhenderson, yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
That's out of respect, isn't it? Because he's a senior player.
Oh, he's senior, all right.
Horrendousson.
Best player out of the North East, isn't he? Second best player out of the North East.
Well, after Pickford. No.
I tell you what, just quickly throw in if we've got a minute.
Yeah.
About, is it Ashton United putting in a loan move for Haaland?
Yeah. Cheeky.
What?
Ashton United have put an official loan move for Haaland for a month loan.
Genius.
Just while he's,
That is, I hope he goes.
Imagine that.
Imagine
that goes and breaks his leg.
Yeah, probably would, yeah. Some Sunday League player just 2 foots him.
Wants to make a name for himself. I ended Haaland's career.
Oh, man. Right, so once again, this wasn't live because technology. Hopefully soon we'll get that sorted and we'll start doing them live. But if not, it's fine. But who's back next week then? I know we are a Premier League podcast, but let's be a World Cup one for 6 weeks. Let's jump on the bandwagon. So you're all back next week?
Yeah.
Bloody marvellous. Right, we will all see you next week. Keep following us on the YouTubes and on the Spotifys and all that, and give us likes and follows. Tell your friends and everyone, and let's get this channel growing. In the meantime, though, enjoy the first game of the World Cup, and we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, lads.
Cheers, lads.
See you later.
Bye.
Cheers.
Ta.